Hello, you guys. Hello, hello. I'm dedicating this live stream for women, the ones who join now and the ones who will watch the replay. And if some men will join, you guys are welcome, but I'm going to speak mostly to the feminine. Yes, Jonathan, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, my darlings, Michelle, Chase, welcome, you guys. Welcome. I'm going to be speaking mostly to women, but the men who are here, you guys are welcome to stay because you have women in your life that you love, right? And that you care about. And you may just share that message with them in your own words if it resonates. And if it's the first time we meet, hello, my name is Katerina Satori. My mission in the world is, in simple words, you guys, I got it down to one sentence. No, 3 words. Liberate souls. That's it. That's what my heart is beating for. Bernardo, welcome. And welcome, you guys. Yeah, so my mission in the world is really do everything in my power to help liberate souls. Shanti, Sergio, welcome, you guys. So good to see you here. Yeah, I had this message in my heart to share with you, to shine the light on this inner conflict that I personally experience with every leap that I take in my leadership, you know, with every new level of expansion that I go through in my feminine leadership. I unravel that wound around money. And there is such a thing, you guys. There is a wound, you know, there is deep wounding around our ability to really believe that we deserve to thrive and to prosper and to create a sustainable wealth for ourselves, right? Especially as women. And I had this insight that it shows up really, really deeply for women when they step on the path of service. It doesn't really show up as much. It's hard to see the deep inner conflict when you simply do something that gives you money, but you're not really in it with your whole being, with your whole heart, right? So I never saw that conflict when I was just doing a job that paid me well, but it wasn't my dharma. You know what I mean? You kind of disconnect it from what you do. You do what you do to provide for yourself. Let me wait maybe 10 more seconds, and then we're gonna dive deep. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, my loves. Carolina, Raquel. So I'm gonna be speaking to women who are living their dharma, your own purpose, because that's who I tend to attract, other female leaders. And my dear sisters, we're in this together. You know, we unravel this. We unravel our understanding. What is it all about? And I had this major breakthrough, you guys, that inner conflict when you're a woman on a mission, right? When you are living in dedication to humanity, to service, the inner money conflict shows up, and it's never actually about money. It's all about our relationship with our power, with our sovereign power. Yes, you guys. And it goes really, really deep. It goes incarnation after incarnation after incarnation deep. And I got to see it, you know, the deeper I step on the path of service, the more I remember who I truly am, right? My divine lineage, all this lifetimes and lifetimes that you play this role on the planet. The more you remember all the things that you unconsciously suppressed, right? And you guys, with women, I've been really feeling lately this, I may mispronounce the word subjugation of women. That's the word for it? But basically, when we were conditioned to fear our sovereign power, right? So it's almost like how I see it shows up with every leap of expansion that I take. Well, I see a lot of men joining. Thank you for joining, and I invite you to simply hold space for the women who are tuning into this conversation. So every time, you guys, I take a leap into expansion, I remember this ancestral fear, fear of my own power, because really the fear of, and it's illogical. It's so deep. It goes, it goes many lifetimes deep. And my message here for all of us is just to shine the light on that first. Simply be aware that sometimes the fears that you will experience, they don't even come from this lifetime. They come from your many parallel lifetimes, the lifetimes when you as a woman, maybe you were burned at the stake, maybe you were crucified for even owning your voice. And now we open up the power, because every center in our body, in our light body, has a specific power. I often talk about the chakra system as our power system. And we have these 7 types of power, right? So imagine you activate all 7. When you begin to activate your throat chakra, my dear women, your ability to speak your truth, your ability to hold nothing back, this is actually your most powerful manifestation portal. So if your throat is blocked, your manifestation, your abundance is blocked, right? Your ability to attract and manifest money is blocked. So I'm here to shine the light on that, my dear sisters, and to just remind you that it is safe to shine. It is actually your lifetime to shine. It's your lifetime if you're on a path of divine feminine Christ consciousness leadership. It's a very specific calling. If I'm speaking to you, you know what I mean by that. You're really here to serve divine feminine consciousness that is awakening in all of us. And it will require to step through initiation to really look at our relationship with our own power. Nicoletta, welcome, my dear. Yeah, you guys, and I speak to you right now about this because in my own business, my own service, my entire demographic changed. My first 2.5 years of being in this industry space, right, in this expert industry, I only worked with men. And beginning of this year, in January, it just started shifting. More and more women start coming to me. And now it's 90% women and 10% men. How ironic is that? Not by coincidence at all. And when I work with women, you guys, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's just a reminder, hey, it's safe to shine. It's safe to lead. It's safe to reclaim your sovereign power. So whenever we go through any constrictions financially, I just invite you to remember that it's never about the money. It's always about your relationship with your sovereign power. And you guys, and the feminine power is different than the masculine power. The feminine power is all about, your permission to birth a new creation, right? A new project, a new movement. We're here to really birth miracles. I made a post about that earlier. And it takes a lot of courage to bring a new movement through you, because with more power comes more responsibility, right? And this can have, this deeply buried fear of responsibility. So all I'm saying is, let's just open a conversation about it. Nothing to fix, nothing to solve this moment. Just simply witness. When the universe, when your higher self brings you a big opportunity, what happens? Do you feel the fear rising up in you? Maybe concern, wow, who am I to step into this light? Who am I to say yes to a bigger leadership? Thank you, Anne. Thank you, my dear. We're all in this together, you guys. And the divine feminine leadership was on the rise. And I this is what makes me so optimistic. And thank you for men who are holding the space, who are listening to this conversation right now. Because we need you. We need you so much for us to rise and for us to share, for us to lead. Divine feminine leadership is so different in nature. We're all about collaboration. We're all about deep intuitive guidance. We're all about listening between the lines, listening to what is unsaid. We're all about really nurturing and supporting and restoring and rebuilding and repairing and uniting, right? And that's why the more we allow ourselves to witness these ancestral, deep fears of our own sovereign power, the more we can allow, right, the more light in. Because it's through witnessing that fear and loving it, transmuting it, we can step in a bigger light. And I wrote something here, you guys, because I didn't want to forget this point. When it comes to ancestral programming, darlings, this is really powerful because I've been doing that since last year. I went onto this because I kept running into these inner constrictions that were not mindset based. They were not skill based. Because, like a lot of times, and the reason for this conversation, because I get few messages per week from women reaching out to me, and when I talk to them, well, what are you up against in your mission? What's going on? And they tell me, it's money, it's money, it's money, it's money. And I'm like, honey, it's not the money. It's your ability to embrace your sovereignty, to embrace your power. So that's the umbrella, right? But how you do it? And you guys, if you looked at the skill, right? Business skills, you've been developing the business skills. You've looked at the mindset. You look at your, at your environment, and there's something else going on. I invite you to look at energetics. I invite you to look at clearing and ancestral programming. There is such a thing. I'm beginning to share this message again because this is what liberated me. I began to look at that last year. March last year, I began, just really realizing that there is something happening on the level of DNA, and I come from, I started looking at the lineage on my mother's side, and I started looking at, okay, my mom and her grandmother and her grandmother and her grandmother, and what was the pattern? Like, what's the lineage of the women that I come from? And right now, my dear sister, I invite you to just pause with me, look at the lineage of the women that you came from. Were they empowered? Were they successful? Were they prosperous? Only you know. So the awakening point for me happened when I realized if I don't look at energetics of my lineage and where I came from, there is a very, very high chances that I will end up exactly like my mom. And that was a shocking realization. I started looking into that. And then I started looking at the religious beliefs that I have adopted when I was growing up. This may be uncomfortable for some of you to hear if you are speaking more of a dogmatic language, even though I don't think I attract a lot of religious people in my community, mostly spiritual. But you guys, I had to look at the religious beliefs that were installed in me when I was in Christianity for 10 years, from the age of 12 to the age of 22. I was deeply dogmatic Christian, like fundamental Christian. And you guys, what I located was these unconscious agreements to impoverished service to God. I'm going to hold this with you because this is really, really big. If you look at that, and if it has been instilled in you when you were a teenager, the roots go really, really deep, So it's like the more impoverished is your life of a service to divine, the more holy it is, right? Look at the conditioning. So I had to look at that, you guys. And then it's basically unconscious beliefs to disown your own sovereign poverty. And I started looking at that, you guys. I started looking at technology to help me shift that. And the karmic clearing came my way. And this is one of the reasons I teach it. I teach it a few times a year. I don't teach it all the time, but I teach it a few times a year. I'm opening a class mid-December. I make it very affordable for anybody to join. But I really wanted to share it with women leaders. If you keep running into, the same unconscious fear, fear of welcoming abundance in, or inability to actually maintain a prosperous, stable state. You may attract a lot and get rid of it really, really fast. Type yes if you go through this. Because I went through that, you guys. I would attract a lot of money and I couldn't wait to get rid of it. You know what I mean? And I was like, what's going on? Why am I uncomfortable with a lot of abundance at once? And I tracked it all the way to the root, and it's being uncomfortable with my sovereign power. So that's what I invite you to take a look at. And you guys, if you're listening to this and you are a woman living your Dharma, this is my message for you. To really fulfill your greatest purpose, you must relinquish small ideas about yourself and believe in your divine sovereign power to create a new world. I wrote this down in order not to forget. And I wrote this mostly for myself, and since we're all one, we're all the same consciousness expressing itself in different forms. If you resonate, then it's a message for you. We are here. Divine feminine Christ consciousness is nothing small. It's huge. It's monumental. It's so monumental. When I really tap into that frequency, you guys, I get goosebumps. I get shivers. I sometimes think, wow, Divine Mother, Divine Goddess, that's calling me to this mission. Am I really worthy of this? And I have to ask myself that question to shine the light on those limiting beliefs, right? They're limiting unconscious vows of playing small, because playing small, all past incarnations meant being safe, right? So right now, when we are leaders, feminine leaders, we are being asked to rise and to shine really, really brightly. We will be required to relinquish all small ideas about ourselves. And we will be asked to actually begin to thrive. And I think it's so beautiful, my dear sisters. It's so beautiful because, when you're really working with that energy of divine feminine Christ consciousness, I know I keep saying that because it's a very different frequency. It's such high frequency that's gonna burn off anything that doesn't match that. So if you're going through a phoenix process right now, you're going through some kind of a death and rebirth cycle, good. Embrace it, celebrate it, and maybe begin simply saying to yourself, I'm willing to look within. I'm willing to look at my own relationship with my own sovereign divine power. Because the feminine power, once again, you guys, it's very different. Feminine power is all about creation. It's not destroying. If the energy of destruction, it's not feminine at all. Feminine power is all about creation and nourishment and enrichments, right? And expansion for the benefit of all, for the benefit of the collective. That's true feminine power. And you can trust that the whole, if you are really living for the benefit of the whole will absolutely support you. And not only support you so you just struggle and getting by, so you thrive. You really, really thrive. So next time you stumble on a financial constriction, I just invite you to look within and ask yourself where internally I am resisting of my own power, where I am suppressing my throat chakra, where I'm not sharing my full truth, where I'm letting others to take the central stage because I'm afraid. When you start asking these kind of questions, things will shift. Things will begin to shift. And another perspective of that, darlings, is Something comes through is working with female ascended masters. You know, this has been so liberating for me, you guys. I'm gonna share it with you because they just start coming to me, you know, like in visions and through telepathy. First was Mary Magdalene, then Mother Mary, then Egyptian Isis, Sekhmet, all of these really powerful archetypes. You know, if Ascended Masters doesn't resonate with some of you, don't use that language. Let's just use archetypes, you know? But find the female empowered archetypes that resonate with you and tune in into their frequency and start invoking their frequencies, right? You have that power, my sister. You have that power. Tune in. The moment you're like a tuning fork, think of it this way. The moment you start contemplating and invoking a specific frequency of particular archetype, right? Empowered feminine, healed feminine, you're gonna start tuning in and begin to actually absorb those frequencies, and the next stage to embody it. Really powerful, you guys. And then final thing that wants to come through right now is healing the split of the divine masculine and divine feminine. I began doing this process, you guys, where I engage in the inner dialogue between my divine masculine within and divine feminine within. And I just began this very conscious healing process and a healing dialogue almost daily. So when my divine feminine feels either underprotected or unprovided or undernourished, I don't expect a masculine from the outside to come and save my day. That's a slave girl mentality. You know what I mean? What I am doing as a sovereign woman, I'm engaging my divine masculine within, and I am providing, protecting, comforting, and nourishing my divine feminine within. How does it feel for you when you hear that? That you have that amount of power. My divine sister, I'm speaking to you right now. And then on the same side, when you cut yourself being way on the masculine side, right? Burning shit down and creating explosions, manifesting, right? You're like in your action. And you gotta tone down that masculine fire. You're gonna bring your divine feminine, that beautiful water essence. And you provide, you know, that creativity and play and joy and sensuality and beauty. All within, all alive. Raquel says, all alive. Exactly. And you guys, the moment I start doing that, oh my God, I think all men in my life, whether romantic friends, clients, doesn't matter. I'm just talking about masculine energy. They all felt the shift. I can tell you that. Because you stop looking outside of yourself for anybody to save the day, provide, protect, entertain, nourish, seduce, enchant. You start giving it to yourself. By the law of polarity, the inner reflects the outer. So what happened? All this beautiful, amazing man showing up in this, you know, in this service heart. How can I support your mission? How can I be a part of what you're doing? How can I be a part of your movement? Really incredible shift, my sisters. Really powerful shift. And I just simply began cultivating that inner process. Checking in, mental and emotional check. Which part of me is out of balance? Which part needs the unity? Is it a feminine right now? Is it a masculine? Or is it a beautiful? And what happens, you guys, is when you start healing that inner split, right? Your life, you start kind of holding that frequency of daily ecstasy. You know what I mean? Because you become more fluid. You become more fluid. You're learning to work with these different archetypes. So powerful. So I just wanted to open this dialogue, darlings, that really there is no such a thing as a money block. It's an old paradigm that we outgrew. There can be unconscious fear of our sovereignty. I resonate with that much deeper now, you know? But we have the tools. We have ascended masters. We have teachers. We have archetypes that we can inspire, embody, model. And we have a big mission in front of us. That big mission that will require our full power, full sovereign presence. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys very, very much. And for those of you who listen, and if you resonate, especially when it comes to letting go of ancestral programming, you guys, this has been one of the most powerful. It's like you unplug lifetimes of conditioning. I'm doing a class beginning mid-December, and for those of you who've been in my energy clearing and DNA activation class, you guys, I invite you to comment on this post. How has that experience been for you? I really, really appreciate that. You guys, I never repeat my classes. It's always a fresh transmission, and I always upgrade what I deliver. I have this deep calling in my heart to offer this really powerful karmic release, DNA activation, sovereign activation experience for you. And it's going to be yeah, Michael has been in my class. He says, absolutely amazing. That's right. It's going to be mid-December, and I'm a crazy Russian. You know what I mean? Like, I do things so fast. Initially, I was like, let's just knock them out in 2 weeks. I think it's a little bit intense for people. So I'll just do 5 weeks. So it's 1 session per week to help people integrate. It's a much easier pace. And I priced it at a ridiculous investment. It's basically $111 per session, okay? On the condition that you have to attend all 5. You can't just start the process and you can't do it. You know, only all 5, so it comes out to $555. It's my gift to the collective. This is the lowest offering I'll ever offer. And it's an early bird price. If you sign up before November 25th, you will get bonuses and extra training that I throw in. So if it resonates, you guys, check out the link after this video. I will post the link how you can join. And how it works, it's basically a distant healing and a quantum reset. I serve as a channel and as kind of like as a transmission in a way for the higher frequency to come through me. And I invoke these energies of ascended masters and healers and really, really powerful archetypal energies, and channel the healing and the transmission for you. And I guide you through a very specific process, you know, beginning with your outer energy body, going deeper and deeper and deeper into your DNA, and untangling, you know, and kind of like unlocking the unconscious commitments to poverty, unconscious commitments to playing small, fears. Did you know that you can store fear in your bones? You can. So removing ancestral fears, removing all that negative programming, and really unleashing your power, aligning with your dharma. So I'll just put the link in the comments, and if you guys been called and if you resonate, I invite you to just feel into it and join. I'm also going to be introducing some new powerful mystery teachings. This is one of my lineages, mystery school teachings. I'm going to bring ancient Egyptian healing rituals, because this is the oldest civilization, you know? And I really feel you guys, people are ready right now They're ready to go back to ancient wisdom teachings that have been lost, that have been ignored for centuries. And it's a time to actually go back to our roots and to restore that knowledge and to bring it back to the collective. So that's what's on my heart. If it calls you, check it out. Been honored to serve you. And remember your sovereign power. Remember who you truly are. And the divine feminine is rising in all of us. All of us. And for men who watched until right now, I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful for you guys that you're doing your work and you're healing the split within you as well, because it applies to you. You know, we're all healing the split between the divine masculine and divine feminine. And once you heal that split within, you actually attract everything, you know, like when you become a partner to yourself, you become divine partner to yourself, ironically, you attract your ideal partner almost immediately. You know what I mean? When you heal the split with your power, you attract powerful people, healed people, right? It's funny how it works. And the reason I'm bringing this message of energetic clearing and energy clearing because, my darlings, one final thought, I'll let you go. Because think about your energetic field, your aura. It's called morphogenetic field. It's actually a very active co-creator of your circumstances. So I see our aura is like a windowsill. You know what I mean? Whatever is internally, you can't hide. Your energy doesn't lie. No matter how much you want to cover something up, your energy body cannot lie. It just shows what you have inside, right? So there is a way to reset that. It's a quantum reset. And we live in a beautiful time where these amazing tools available to us. Anyway, that's all I have for you for right this moment. Enjoy this incredible time, because we're going back to really embodying our sovereignty. And that's exciting. That's really, really exciting. Love you guys. Stay blessed.